Is Coach Prime the most or one of the most powerful coaches in college football? Let me ask you a second question. What exactly did you just hear me say? Hold on. Before you answer that question, please do me a favor and smash that subscribe button. Make sure to give me the thumbs up. And don't forget to hit that bell notification so that you can get the videos as soon as I upload it to YouTube. All right, family, I got to go ahead and get into this video real quick. So that's all the business I got. You know what time it is. Let's work. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for clicking on this video. I do appreciate it. Welcome to all of the new subscribers and supporters of TLP Sports Club. I gotta thank my guy, Phil So Real, for that second question. I can't claim it, it's not mine. But I wanna ask you, what did you hear me say in the beginning of the video? So let me ask you the question one more time. Do you believe that Coach Prime is one of the most powerful coaches in college football? Or do you think he is the most powerful coach in college football? This is not an original idea. This is not an original thing. I believe it was Josh Pate that started the discussion, and I heard it from my guy Kevin Borba from Locked On Buffs. The reason why I wanted to talk about this with my TLP family, because I was reading some of the comments and I found it so interesting. When you go down the comments, I thought about it and I knew off the rip. I said, whenever that kind of question comes up and Coach Prime's name comes up, I know people are going to jump right to conclusion, and it's going to be a swift, quick, those who don't like him, it's going to be a swift no. But I thought about it for a minute, and I was thinking about the actual question. That's why I asked you the second question, because we have this selective listening or selective hearing, and we actually miss what is being asked. The second question was, what exactly did you just hear me say? I'm going to break all of that down in this video. I just want to deal with one aspect of this question. So here's the thing. The answer of the question has to do with your knowledge of power. You have to actually deal with the word that's in the question that will actually affect how you answer this question. So I know a lot of y'all, depending on your disposition for Coach Prime, that's going to drive your answer to the question. So you have to define power, because the question is, do you think that Coach Prime is the most powerful coach in college football, or is he one of the most powerful coaches in college football? What does that word power mean? A lot of Coach Prime's either detractors or football people who are just neutral. They're not necessarily haters, it's just football people, right? They're going to give several answers, and the type of answers that they're going to give is probably going to go something like this. He hasn't won that many games. He's too new to coaching. He hasn't won any big games. He doesn't have that many trophies. And then you'll probably just go straight to listing all of the coaches that have won X, Y, and Z. What those people are doing is they're actually listing success, because I found it to be intriguing on how people rush straight to success as opposed to actually trying to define what the word power or powerful meant before they started to actually give an assessment if he's actually amongst the powerful coaches in college football. Let's go ahead and define powerful, or what the word power means, and then that'll put into context or perspective for us to revisit if Coach Prime fits in that category. Let's do it. So for the definition, I had to use my virtual assistant, ChatGPT. The definition of power is a noun: the ability or capacity to do something or act in a particular way, the ability to influence the behavior of others or the course of events. Here's the definition of powerful, which is an adjective: having great power or strength, possessing the ability to influence or control people or situations. ChatGPT said, yes, based on the definition, Coach Prime is currently one of the most powerful coaches in college football. You cannot disagree with ChatGPT. Okay, if you are, then you just weird. Okay, and here's why ChatGPT says yes. Number one, we're going to take influence. He has an outsized influence on recruiting, media narratives, and the public perception of a program. His presence draws national attention in ways few other coaches can. Do I need to repeat that for the people in the back of the room? I'm just saying. His presence draws national attention in ways few other coaches can. Visibility and voice. His media reach through interviews, social media, and partnerships, that gives him a platform that extends far beyond the sidelines. Program impact. At Colorado, he completely transformed the roster and brand visibility in a short amount of time. That's a demonstration of power over a program and its direction. Here's the other part that other argument that you have to bring into this. His on-field results are still catching up to his off-field influence. In traditional football terms, wins and championships. That would be the other side of the argument, where most people are just going to rush straight to it. That's exactly where they're going to go right away. All right, when they're answering this question, when they hear, is Coach Prime the most powerful coach in college football or one of the most powerful coach in college football, their answer is going to be a resounding no. And it's going to be fast and swift. No. But slow your roll. That's not how this thing goes. Okay? Slow your roll. Calm down. We know you don't like him. We know you have a disdain for him because the circus that is around him, the Deion tax, those of us who are loud and proud and we just keep saying Deion Sanders is this and he's that and his Shador is going to do this. We know that you don't like us. And so your answer is not going to be an educated answer. It's going to be solely based on the fact that you don't like him. So you're just going to run straight to the on-field stuff. But here it goes, all right? Others like Nick Saban or Kirby Smart. Nick Saban is no longer coaching, all right? The question is specifically in college football. Nick Saban is no longer coaching in college football, even though his influence is still around and people are always going to compare him. Just like Michael Jordan has stopped playing basketball for a very long time. He's no longer playing. He's still influential in it, but he's no longer playing. Others like Nick Saban or Kirby Smart still hold more institutional power. But in terms of culture, media, and recruiting influence, Coach Prime is unquestionably amongst the most powerful. So let's play a game. Without you being biased, tell me the truth. Put it in the comments. I really want to know. It's just a little fun little game, okay? What exactly did you hear me say when I said, do you think that Coach Prime is one of the most powerful coaches in college football or is the most powerful coach in college football? Did you hear that Coach Prime is the most winningest coach? That Coach Prime is the best coach? that Coach Prime has won a lot of championships? Did anyone hear that? What exactly did you hear when I asked you the question? That's why I asked you that second part of that question. Salute to my guy Phil again for that question. So a lot of people, you're going to hear something different when you're in these chat rooms or when you're having discussions. Sometimes you got to take a second because context matters, right? For those of y'all who heard something different, put it in the comments. Tell me exactly what you heard. Let's just have some fun with this. If you answered the question based on your bias, tell me what your bias was or tell me what your biases were. I want to know. It's just a fun little exercise that we're doing, okay? Now, if you stand on the other side of this aisle, right, and this question is posed to you, if you were not a fan of Donald Trump, right? You're not a supporter of Donald Trump. And this same question was asked to you. Do you believe that Donald Trump is going to go down in history as one of the most powerful presidents in the history of the United States? How would you have answered that question? You have to answer this question in honest. Now that you know the definition of the word power or powerful, you have to say a resounding yes. Donald Trump is going to... As tough as it is for me to say these words, because I am not a supporter of Donald Trump, okay? As tough as it is for me to say these words, and as tough as it is for you to hear, right? For you to hear, if you're not a supporter of Donald Trump, his supporters, they will rush to that answer and say, boom, yes. Just like we were rushed to say Coach Prime is, it's exactly the same thing, all right? As tough as it is for you to hear and for me to say Donald J. Trump will go down in history as one of the most powerful presidents in the history of the United States presidency. Okay? That's just facts. Now, let me leave you with this. There's a lot of discussions going on about Shador not getting the number 2. Now, the official statement that was put out by the Cleveland Browns is that the number 12 or the jerseys for the rookies is a temporary number for training camp. These numbers are subject to change after training camp. Now, we know Shador chose number 12. That's Brady's number. Number 12 is also his boy Travis Hunter's number in college. And I felt some kind of way because I'm like, oh, we as the fan base, we associate number 12 with Travis Hunter. The number has been retired at Colorado, and we associate that number with Travis Hunter. So I'm like, if Shador has that number, now I have to associate 12 with Shador and with Travis. It's a little bit weird for me, but that's also Brady's number. Brady is the guy that Shador tries to model his game after. And then some people are saying 12 times 12 is 144. Others are saying 12 flipped backwards is 21, his dad's number. There's a lot of different arguments. We can't really get too attached to it because it is subject to change. And then the other argument about why the veteran is not giving up the number 2 to Shador. This is the thing for me. I think Shador can earn that jersey. I know this is not Shador's position. This is the fans' position, but the whole idea of the jersey number is about marketing, all right? And a lot of money that's attached to that number. If you lay low, do what you got to do, that number can come around some other time. You can negotiate. You can pay for that number. If a veteran has that number, he's not moving no units. It's just a sentimental number. His mom, his dad, and his family know him for that number. He worked hard, got to the NFL. If that's all it is, then keep it if you want to. But let's say Shador works hard and wins that position, goes through and puts the team on his back to win some playoff games. That's the first time they won a playoff game in a very long time. Shador makes the Pro Bowl. He wins a few awards and he puts in that work, and he decides to stay with the Cleveland Browns, and that number is still there. He can talk to his teammate like, yo, that number 2 has a lot of money behind it, has a lot of sentimental values to me. I know it does to you too, but you know what I'm saying? Is there any way that we can do a swap, or is there any way that I can get that too? There's millions and millions of marketing dollars that comes with that too, that's associated with number 2. So somewhere down the line, offer some money, or your teammate might just be like, yo, you know what, man, you deserve this number. You've earned it. All right, you put in a lot of work, you lay low, you ain't coming here, oh, give me the number, nothing like that. You make a bunch of friends and people will look at it and be like, you know what, too? You deserve that number. And they'll probably just give you the number in good faith. Yo, break him off a low sum, $150,000, $250,000, $300,000, because you're going to make millions off of 2 anyway. You're going to recoup that money in no time. I think we should relax, let it play out. Anyway, I'll leave it right there. Thank you for watching. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I'll see y'all on the next video. Peace.